The Berenstain Bear Scouts and the Whitewater Mystery by Stan and Jan Berenstain. "We're ready," said Scout Brother. "We're ready to ride the rapids." The Bear Scouts were going to paddle their canoe down the rapid river. They were trying to earn the Whitewater Merit Badge. They launched their canoe and climbed aboard. "Just a minute," called a voice. It was Too Tall Grizzly and his gang. They had a boat too. "How about a race?" said Too Tall. "Let's have a race down the river." "We're working on our Whitewater Merit Badge, Too Tall," explained Scout Sister. "What's the matter?" asked Too Tall. "Scared?" "Okay, wise guy," said Brother. "We'll have a race. How far?" "Down the rapids, around the bend to the old oak tree," said Too Tall. "And may the best cubs win," added Smirk. The Bear Scouts and Too Tall gang pushed their canoes out into the river. "Ready?" said Scout Fred. "Get set! Paddle!" They all began to paddle as fast as they could. At first the two boats were neck and neck. Then the Bear Scouts began to pull ahead. They were better paddlers than the Too Tall gang. The Bear Scouts all paddled together. "Stroke, stroke, stroke," Brother called to keep the time. The Too Tall gang paddled every which way. "Look out!" warned Scout Lizzie. "We're coming to the rapids." Whitewater boiled up ahead of them. "Stroke, stroke, uh-oh," said Scout Brother as they shot down into the rapids. They swept past Big Bear Rock. Then they curved around Swirling Whirlpool. They bumped down 20-step falls. When they reached the bottom of the falls, they looked back. The Too Tall gang were nowhere to be seen. "I guess they chickened out when they saw those rapids," said Scout Fred. "Hooray!" shouted the Bear Scouts. "We're going to win!" They crossed their paddles. "Motto time!" they cried. "One for all and all for one!" As they drifted around the bend in the river, they saw an amazing sight. There, tied to an old oak tree that marked the finish line, was a boat. And there, leaning against the tree, was the Too Tall gang? The Bear Scouts' mouths hung open. "How?" they gasped. "How did you get ahead of us?" "Nothing to it," said Too Tall with a grin. "We just paddled around one side of Big Bear Rock while you paddled around the other side." "Yeah," smirked Smirk. "You were so busy with your stroke, stroke, stroke that you never noticed us." The Too Tall gang began to dance around the Bear Scouts, pretending to paddle. "Stroke, stroke, stroke," they chanted. The Bear Scouts were furious. They knew they'd really won the race. They knew they'd been cheated somehow. But how? It was a mystery, the Whitewater Mystery. That's when Lizzie noticed Dr. Wise Old Owl sitting in the branches of the old oak tree. Maybe he could help explain. "Dr. Wise Old Owl, Dr. Wise Old Owl," called Lizzie. "Can you tell us how Too Tall won the race?" Dr. Wise Old Owl turned his head all the way around, blinked, and said, "One boat at the start, then round the bend. There's a path to boat, two at the other end." "A path?" wondered Fred. "Where?" "There," said Sister, pointing. "A path led into the woods. Let's follow it and see where it leads." The Bear Scouts followed the path through the woods, back to the river bend around the bend. "Look!" cried Lizzie. "There's another boat tied up at the other end." "One boat at the start," said Brother, rubbing his chin. "This may be the boat that Too Tall used at the start of the race." "And while we were shooting the rapids," Sister went on, "they hopped out, ran along the path to boat 2 at the other end, and pretended to win the race," added Fred. The Bear Scouts ran back along the path. "Hey!" they yelled at the Too Tall gang. "You didn't win the race, we did. You cheated." Too Tall just shrugged. "We have a motto too," he told them. "If you can't beat 'em, cheat 'em." The other Bear Scouts not only won the race, they earned their Whitewater Merit Badge as well. They hung it on their clubhouse wall with their other badges. The Too Tall gang had to make their own badge to hang on their clubhouse wall. It was the "If you can't beat 'em, cheat 'em" demerit badge.